Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a Secrets of Strixhaven Commander deck? Magic the Gathering is once again taking a spring trip to the magical school of Strixhaven, which means once again we get a quintet of new precons, each built around one of the school's 5 two-color colleges. All 5 of the precons from our first visit to Strixhaven were outstanding, earning a solid A in my Is It Worth It to Buy video. So it would be an understatement to say that I am eager to evaluate the Commander precons from our return to Strixhaven. But do these new Strixhaven precons live up to the standards set by their predecessors? Are they fun to play? And do they contain any value inside? Do they actually feel different from the precons we got half a decade ago? Or are they just selling us a remake of a popular product and charging us more for it? Which of course begs the final question. At an MSRP that's literally 25% higher than the price point I already thought was too high 5 years ago, is it really worth it to spend $49.99 on a Secrets of Strixhaven Commander precon? Oh my god, sorry, never mind, we'll get into it. You know me, the high cost of Magic the Gathering products is frustrating. That's why I'm giving away 40 Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster boxes on my next Whatnot stream during the Whatnot card show. That's insane, right? I don't even know if the editor can fit 40 images of collector booster boxes on the screen, but I'm giving away 40 of these. Tune in to this year's Whatnot card show, and one of them could be yours. The Whatnot Card Show is an online streaming extravaganza. All weekend long, some of the best deals and biggest giveaways will be happening on Whatnot. Tune into my stream on Thursday, April 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then again for a Saturday morning stream at 9 a.m. Pacific, over which I will be giving away 40 Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster boxes. Create a brand new account and you'll get a $15 credit to spend in my store and any store. I'm really proud to reveal that I'll be offering this limited edition Tolarian Community College desk playmat. It's filled with references to TCC videos and TCC alums, and it will be limited to only 1,000 made. Each playmat will be signed and numbered by me, the professor. Also, $15 to spend on whatever you want, and you might walk away with a collector booster box. The Whatnot Card Show is an event you don't want to miss, an entire weekend of stores doing extravagant things like me, where I'm giving away 40 collector booster boxes of Secrets of Strixhaven. So just create that brand new account by going to www.whatnot.com/invite/Tolarian College and tune in on Thursday, April 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then again on Saturday, May 2nd for a morning stream at 9 a.m. And maybe, just maybe, you'll walk away with one of these 40 collector booster boxes of Secrets of Strixhaven. Thank you, Whatnot, for an amazing card show and for sponsoring this video. A Secrets of Strixhaven Commander deck contains the following. 1 ready-to-play, right-out-of-the-box 100-card deck, featuring 1 foil face commander, as well as 1 foil backup commander, and 10 additional new-to-Magic designs. Also included are 10 double-sided token cards, what is generously called a deck box, and what is even more generously called a strategy insert and reference card. Absent, of course, is the Collector Booster Sampler Pack, which has now gone the way of life wheels, oversized cards, and all the other goodies that used to come in Commander precons. Of note, each Strixhaven deck contains a brand new typed dual land, the Turbulent Half Cycle, which are enemy-colored dual lands that enter untapped if your opponents control a total of 8 lands, which generally means from turn 3 or 4 onward. These lands are fantastic additions to Commander, as duels with basic land types have a number of useful synergies, and untapped duels of any kind are extremely important for multicolor mana bases. And speaking of mana bases, these Strixhaven precons also finish out the cycle of enemy-colored Tangle and Bicycle lands, first introduced in Edge of Eternities. MSRP for a Secrets of Strixhaven Commander precon is $49.99. 5 years ago, when I reviewed the Commander 2021 precons from the original Strixhaven set, I actually spent a lot of time criticizing the decision to raise prices to $39.99, but now here we are, $49.99 per deck. To be fair, this price increase is directly in line with the rate of inflation, as $40 in 2021 would indeed be worth $49.76 today. And at least all of the precons are selling for MSRP, right? Right? Well, wrong, because looking at market prices, both Silverquill Influence and Witherbloom Pestilence have been marked up and are selling for $67 and $59 respectively. Interestingly, the additional precons are selling for less than MSRP, and if you want to buy all the precons together in bulk, there are many offers currently going for around $229 on the secondary market, which comes out to only $45 each. Not bad for those looking to multi-major. No matter what you do, there's one thing you need to be sure not to do, and that is do not do paying of markups on any of these precons. You heard me. Please, it's bad enough that MSRP is now $50 on a Commander precon, but don't make it worse by paying an additional $10 or $20 on a Commander precon. Just don't do it. Of course, there are many former Commander precons selling for at or below $49.99, and I have gathered a collection of low-cost precons available at cardkingdom.com, sponsor of this channel, which you can visit just by going to cardkingdom.com/TCC. Here you can not only browse Commander precons from prior sets that are selling for less than these new Strixhaven precons, but you can also see some of my favorite products and accessories, including the Academic Deck Box, a deck box I helped design that is available in multiple colors at Card Kingdom. This video will only evaluate whether the Secrets of Strixhaven decks are worth it to buy at their MSRP of $49.99. It is not worth it to buy them at $59.99, nor $69.99, nor any other price above MSRP, which is $49.99. Now, assuming you buy one of these decks at MSRP, because I know you wouldn't do anything else, let's see what kind of value you'd be getting for your $50. If you were to buy all the singles from each precon at their lowest price, as of the time of recording, you would have to spend a whopping $337 for Silverquill Influence, $298 for Lorehold Spirit, $258 for Prismari Artistry, $245 for Quandrix Unlimited, and a still not too shabby $229 for Witherbloom Pestilence. That is a huge delta between the most valuable and least valuable precons. Now, keep in mind, these are all using pre-sale prices, as always happens, once precons hit shelves, the prices are gonna crater. A great example of this, you need look only to the Turtle Power precon from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was far and away the most valuable precon we'd seen at the time of recording our Is It Worth It to Buy video for that deck. $645? What? Now, even at the time, we said that price was ridiculously inflated relative to what it would be once the product had been on shelves. And now, a month and a half later, God, has it only been a month and a half later? We can see that we were indeed correct, as that same precon contains just $84.08 in singles. So take these prices with a massive grain of salt. That said, there are some legitimately great and valuable cards contained within each of these Commander precons. Let's eliminate the bulk, eliminate every card that's not worth at least $1, and take a look at what remains. Silverquill Influence would still contain 44 out of 100 cards worth $1 or more as of the time of this video's recording. Nearly half the deck being worth over $1 is honestly very impressive. And as you look closer, the cards contained within is even more impressive. They reprinted land tax in this Commander precon? Holy cow, that's a $25 card. That's also not a price inflated due to pre-sales on new designs. It's just a high-value reprint. Amazing. amazing. They also reprinted the $13 Ink Shield, the $10 Brina, and the $8 Animate Dead. Honestly, from a value perspective, the reprint quality in this deck is wild. The new card designs also carry a good chunk of value. $25 for the Face Commander Killian, Decisive Mentor, $20 for the new Agonjo, Dynastorian, and $14 for the backup commander Scriv, the Obligator. This is indeed a high-value precon. In terms of gameplay, Silverquill Influence is a politically inclined Auras deck that rewards flexible thinking, threat assessment, and some good old-fashioned wheeling and dealing. The deck's commander, Killian, Decisive Mentor, taps and goads a creature whenever you play an enchantment, and draws a card whenever one or more creatures you've enchanted attacks. Thanks to the wording on Killian's ability, you don't have to control the creature enchanted by one of your auras. So if you enchant one of your opponent's creatures with an aura and then use Killian's goad ability to force it to attack, that creature will net you a card in combat. This is a really cool take on a classic archetype. While most aura-focused decks want to suit up one giant threat, this one heavily incentivizes spreading your auras around, including onto your opponent's creatures. If you're the sort of player who loves to yap and feels smart, this is absolutely a great deck. Evil masterminds everywhere should be excited to pick this one up. In terms of Witherbloom, there are a total of 36 singles worth $1 or more, leaving us with an overall non-bulk value of $169.96. Most of the pricey singles in this deck are new cards, including the $24 Face Commander Dinah. Is it Dinah? The Essence Brewer. And the $12 backup commander, Gorma, the Gullet. The green-black Turbulent Land, Turbulent Fen, is a $13 card as of the time of this recording, a price that might not drop too much given how in-demand these lands will be. The priciest reprints in Witherbloom Pestilence are the $9 Oran Frostfang and the $8 Nether Trader. Toxic Deluge is an excellent reprint, currently sitting at around $7, and after that there's pretty much a steep drop-off in reprint value, as the next most expensive reprint is Jadar Ghoulcaller of Nephalia, which is about a $4 card as of the time of this video's recording. The relative lack of reprint value is a big reason why Witherbloom Pestilence has so much less value than its compatriots. Still, I love seeing Toxic Deluge in a Commander Precon. In terms of gameplay, Witherbloom Pestilence is a token-heavy sacrifice deck that loves making little guys almost as much as it loves throwing them away for value. The deck is helmed by the one and only Essence Brewer herself, and can be swapped out for the delightfully goofy Gorma the Gullet. Being a sacrifice and life gain engine, this deck plays token generators like Woe Strider and the new Pest Rescuer to provide plenty of fodder for sacrifice outlets like Umbral Caller Zealot and the fabulous Yahenni Undying Partisan. And of course, there's staple sacrifice win conditions, Blood Artist, and Zulaport Cutthroat waiting in the wings to turn all your little guys into big damage. Between the sacrifice synergies, nice removal suite, and mana ramp to avoid non-games, this is just a very solid precon that you can count on to reliably perform every time you sit down to play. Moving along to Quandrix, there are 37 out of 100 cards worth $1 or more, providing us a non-bulk value of $232 and change. Yes, despite having 2 fewer non-bulk singles than Witherbloom Pestilence, the value of those singles is about $60 higher. The Face Commander Zimone Infinite Analyst is currently the most expensive card in the list, coming in at about $23 as of the time of recording. There's also the new $17 card Yavimaya Bloom Sage, which has the prepared spell of Channel. Yes, literal channel. That's a card likely to maintain some value. Quandrix Unlimited also contains the first ever reprint of Ozolith, the Shattered Spire, an $11 card as of the time of this recording. There are also reprints of the pricey Benevolent and Primordial Hydras, which cost $9 and $8 respectively. We've also got the ever pricey 3 Visits, currently sitting at $8 as well, showing that there's a lot of cool reprints hiding out in this deck list. In terms of gameplay, Quandrix Unlimited, fittingly for a bunch of math nerds I might add, is all about solving for X. There are actually 31 spells in this deck, oh my god, with an X in their mana costs. What's an English major to do? That degree of variability makes this deck an extremely flexible one, which will have plenty of moves at every stage of the game. The Face Commander, Zimone Infinite Analyst, is the constant in this formula. Not only does she get larger whenever you cast your first X-cost spell in a turn, but she reduces the cost of that spell for every +1/+1 counter she has. This cost reduction is what really allows the deck to shine, giving you the ability to spend some truly comical amounts of mana on giant X spells. Backup Commander, Primo, the Unbounded, is probably best left in the 99. Zimone's cost reduction is just too important to the deck's game plan. If you love drawing lots of cards and playing giant creatures, this is going to be the deck for you. If you want to go big, this precon is great. The top end is powerful and flashy, and while the early ramp options leave a little to be desired, the fact that so much of this deck is X costs means you still have a lot of flexibility and room to maneuver on route to running people over. Taking a look at Prismari artistry, there are a total of 42 non-bulk singles worth $1 or more for a total value of $244.41. That's not far off from the deck's total value, and of course is great value considering you can currently get this precon for less, I repeat less, than MSRP. The Face Commander, Rutha, Mastering the Moment, is a $24 card as of the time of recording, and the Backup Commander isn't far behind at $19. But the real story to the value of this deck list are the reprints. Though the card does not really fit the game plan at all, the $22 Fairy Mastermind is a very, very welcome inclusion from a financial standpoint alone. We've also got $10 reprints of Harmonic Prodigy and Goldspan Dragon, 2 extremely powerful red commander cards. In terms of gameplay, I'd say this deck is not so much about slinging spells as it is launching them out of a catapult. Of the 29 instants and sorceries in the deck, a whopping 15 of them have a mana value of at least 5. And the deck is chock full of payoffs for going as big as possible. Prismari Artistry is, unsurprisingly, a new take on a Spellslinger deck, and the glue holding this arts and crafts project together is the Face Commander. Rutha rewards all these massive sorcery speed mana investments with a giant elemental token at the start of each combat, which gives the deck a direct line between casting huge spells and actually, winning the game with them. Unfortunately, for as cool as this precon is conceptually, it has some some real structural issues that make it a little clunky in practice. It's basically a non-green ramp deck given how high the curve is, but you're heavily reliant on cost reduction creatures to cast your big spells. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of very cool things going on in this deck. I just don't feel the list is smooth or consistent enough to showcase those cool things every game. This is the perfect deck to buy and upgrade, but out of the box, it is too likely to draw the wrong mix of cards to reliably enact its game plan. Digging into the non-bulk of the Lorehold deck, there are a total of 36 singles worth more than $1, and their overall value is $277.76. Keep in mind that ridiculous non-bulk value is largely propped up by the current $29.99 pre-sale price of the deck's backup commander, Excava, the Risen Past. I would not count on that price sticking, though Excava is indeed a great card. The face commander, by comparison, only costs $19 as of now, though that price too will surely drop. The more stable selling point for the deck's value are the reprints of Emeria, the Sky Rune, and Bitterthorn, Nissa's Animus, which are existing cards going for $18 and $16 respectively. Also coming above the $10 mark are reprints of Currency Converter, Moonshaker Cavalry, and Drum Bellower. Wow, what fantastic reprints. In terms of gameplay, Lorehold's Spirit is a graveyard value deck that combines reanimation, recursion, and spirits into a powerful and synergistic package. Headlining this deck is the set's only Planeswalker commander, Quandrix, History Chaser. With a high starting loyalty and a high impact static ability, Quint absolutely clears the high bar for Planeswalker playability in Commander. If you're not a fan of Planeswalker commanders, your other option to helm the deck is Excava, the Risen Past. Excava is a flying and hasty spirit for 4 mana, and whenever it attacks, it reanimates a cheap artifact, creature, or enchantment, turning it into a 1/1 flying spirit in the process. The multiple themes running through this deck click together in some very satisfying ways. The deck features classic white reanimation cards that bring back permanents or creatures to synergize with Quandrix, as they're able to make use of the cards he discards while making a 3/2 spirit to boot. The higher than average curve of the deck, as well as the amount of card flow offered by Quandrix and cards like Takacia's Welcome and Staff of the Storyteller, mean that you should have no shortage of ways to spend your mana every turn. Overall, this is a fantastic and unique precon that plays very differently from most other Boros decks. It's powerful, flexible, and best of all, quintessentially Lorehold. This is a great deck out of the box, and its varied themes provide lots of viable upgrade paths as well. In my evaluation, the best of these precons is Lorehold's Spirit for its cohesive and intricate deck list, pulling together multiple disparate game plans that all feel unique for the color pair. And on top of that, it's stacked with value, can't go wrong. Coming in a very close second is Silverquill Influence, another extremely fresh and unique deck with tons of value inside. It's maybe a half step behind Lorehold simply because it's maybe a more challenging deck to pilot. Witherbloom Pestilence is solidly in third place for its excellent construction and potent game plan, though it treads much more established territory for its color pair. Quandrix Unlimited is in fourth place as it's a little short on ramp, but is still quite powerful once it gets going. Also, blue-green X spells is not a new archetype. In last place we have Prismari Artistry, which would be a lot higher on the list in a less stacked lineup. It's still got a lot of cool things going for it, but its top heaviness is awkward and would benefit from fewer creatures. In addition to financial value and in addition to gameplay, there's one more thing worth discussing in regards to these decks. Their mana bases. They're actually good this time. No, they're really good. The mana bases in these decks are actually some of the best we've seen for a Commander Precon released alongside a standard set, well, ever. Each deck contains 8 tap lands, which is only about 21% of the total lands in the deck. The dual lands in these Precons include the new Turbulent land, the semi-new Enemy Tango and Bicycle lands, a Filter land, a Pain land, a Check land, a Reveal land, and a Signet land. I absolutely love this trend that Commander Precon mana bases have been on over the past year or so. Hey, credit where credit is due. I absolutely love that Wizards of the Coast is willing to print brand new lands for these Precons for the sole purpose of improving mana bases. You know, that way we can actually play with these decks without getting mana screwed. This is precisely the kind of improvement I hope to see whenever the latest version of a recurring product gets released. Good job, WotC. Final conclusion, the Secrets of Strixhaven Precons are some of the best Precons we've ever seen released alongside a standard set and are completely worth it. The decks are well designed, fun to play, and incredibly chock full of valuable reprints. The game plans are exciting and powerful, the mana bases are reliable, and all 5 decks are well balanced enough to battle each other regardless of which 4 you select for a given commander pod. These 5 decks truly set a high bar for Commander Precons moving forward, and the grade is absolutely a solid, enthusiastic A. I'm really, genuinely impressed by the quality of all these decks. I just wish they didn't cost half a Benjamin to buy. I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. Remember, I am giving away 40 Strixhaven collector booster boxes during the Whatnot card show. That's right, I'm giving away 40 of these things. Just tune in on Thursday, April 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then again on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on May 2nd, and you might walk away with one of these 40. How can I really give away 40? Thank you, Whatnot collector booster boxes of Secrets of Strixhaven. From me to you, courtesy of Whatnot. Create a brand new account and you'll get $15 credit to spend in my store, in anyone's store. Just go to www.whatnot.com/invite/Tolarian College and then tune in for your chance at one of these collector booster boxes. Secrets of Strixhaven.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
What's up? It's Shuffle Up and Play, and today, a flashback pre-release in honor of Spice 8 Rack. We are doing pre-release of...
Yo! Lorwyn! Let's go!
Let's go!
Oh, I'm forcing goblins. Oh, hell yeah! It will be so funny if I hate this format after this show.
I actually pulled a Lily and I was like, what are these planeswalkers? I don't like this.
Hey, I didn't pass yet.
Oh, sorry.
Passed you.
Would you stop freaking Spencer out?
All I need to do is to be really good at the game and incredibly lucky.
I'm putting on my shoes. I'm putting on my jacket. I got a funky plan.
I want numbers going by me.
Yeah.
Symbols.